and welcome to another Chronicle Chamber book review. I'm Ankit, and today I'll be reviewing Regal Comics from India's The Phantom, issues number 16, 17, and 18. Now, before I begin, I would just like to say that this is like in the month of October, and Regal have three issues out. The last time they released the last few issues, which was I think uh, 13, 14, and 15, it was the month of August. So just in about a couple of months, we have three more issues, which is like amazing considering that still the world is reeling from COVID, and we are still not completely open, and things are still pretty shaky. Those in Australia will really well know what's happening out there. Anyway, coming to the review, another thing I would like to point out is Regal are now really a victim of their own standards. Like, the production that they have been doing in their books is so high that the expectations are really high from them, and especially now with another uh, publisher in the market who are going to publish from the same library, Shakti Comics, that is. Regal really have to, like, cannot afford any kind of letdowns, or cannot let up at all. So one issue I would like to point out before we begin from the is that this time somehow there is an issue about the covers have been printed with it looks a little dull. The reason is, seems like when the covers were printed by the printing press or whatever, their whole the contrast became so. Even someone like Vincent's cover, you can see it's really dark for some strange reason, like even the Phantom's face. So the best way to see is, if you compare it to this cover is done by me, and this is again, like, there's a distinct lack of reds and everything. Yeah, as I was saying, the best thing is to, you check the printing on the bookmark here, and you'll see how different the vibrancy and the contrast is in these colors. So yeah, it's really a little disappointing. And same here, another cover done by me. See the actual vibrancy on the card, on what the colors and everything is. It's just like somebody put like a white blanket on top of it. Anyway, keeping all of that on side, the internals have nothing to say. Like, the internal stuff is still excellent. The colors, the paper quality, all of it is great. So let's begin the review. So first we have issue number 16. Issue number 16 has cover art by Vincent Moses Raja, and I think it's based off the story The Jungle Trek, and it has two stories: The Jungle Trek and The Scoundrel. Now and it comes with a freebie, which is a sticker based on the cover art here. As you can see, I must have modified it a little bit to not have the darker highlights, but yeah, that's the sticker. So yeah, so as the stories have been written by Tony DePaul, and the artist is Paul Ryan on both of them. And as you can see, it's all the usual gloss paper and fantastic image fidelity and colors. Like, these are the KFS daily story colors, but when you print them really well, like you can see, like, sometimes KFS does this. They put these dots, like dot matrix kind of things, and there's absolutely no bleed anywhere. It's absolutely clean. It's a really good print. So yeah, it's excellent. Talking about the gloss paper thing, I have with me one of the Fru's color issues. Now, as I was saying, like, paper goes a long way to really make things shine, and Fru's paper being matte, and not this is not the trade paperback, this is like a standard pages, and it's really not very conducive to the colors, because I'm sure looking at these are even Pedersen's colors, and I mean, these colors must be like, it would pop way more the moment it's printed on some paper, something like this. So yeah, as usual, as I was saying, the internals and everything, nothing to say. It's absolutely spot on. Great stuff. So on to issue number 17. Now, issue number 17 is Claes Reimerthi tribute issue. As we all know, Claes unfortunately left us in sometime this couple of months back, and yeah, this is uh, this is Regal's tribute to him. Now, the thing is, the cover art is done by me, and while doing this, I had actually pitched to Regal about, because Klaus had just announced his retirement when the not just like he had announced his retirement a few months before, and so I thought, like why not have a Klaus Reimerthi, commemorative issue, and that's actually mentioned here by the editorial, that it was originally meant to be a commemorative issue of his legacy on the strip, but unfortunately he died, and a lot of things had to be redone to make it a tribute issue instead of a. It's very, very unfortunate, and it starts off like this is a portrait that I did of Klaus, and starts off, and it has an article by Mikkel, like, who you might be knowing from the Phantom, the card game, and he's also a Phantoman proofreader and also a part of Chronicle Chamber. So yeah, Mikkel has a article which is talks about his growing up reading the Team Phantoman stuff, and how he remembers Klaus, who was like a very, very titular figure in the Team Phantoman thing. And the freebie that comes with it is a bookmark based off the cover art. So the stories collected here are the Snake Goddesses Island and the Lions at Tamarine. So these were some of Klaus's two Sunday strips, and personally, I really love Snake Goddesses Island, because it has that very that that esoteric, that vibe, and nothing to say about, again, the production inside. It's absolutely top notch. The stuff here is done so well. I mean, the colors and everything, it's exactly what the Sundays actually were. So yeah, nothing about it. So this is a pretty important issue that way for Regal and all of us. Get this one, of course. Say on to issue number 18. Now, issue number 18 was the brief is the cover art is again done by me, and the brief to me was they wanted something horror and something like because there is a story called the Halloween Kidnappers. Now, Halloween Kidnappers is a story about the kidnapping, like it's a crime story, and usually when I draw a cover, I base it on the style of the story or something. It's not abstract, but I was given a brief where they wanted a Halloweenish horror scenario with like the jack-o'-lanterns and the pumpkin carvings and whatever. So this is what I came up with, and it comes with a freebie, which is a collectible card, which is of the cover art. So yeah, and since even the Halloween Kidnappers is written by Klaus, and the inside cover has again that same portrait of Klaus, and so this is a Claes Reimerthi daily, and it's actually an adaptation of a Team Phantoman story by Klaus, and the artist, if I am not mistaken, was Hans Lindahl. So it's a adaptation of that done by for the daily strip, and Olesen and Keith Williams do a decent job on it. I have never been a fan of Olesen and Williams' art. I've always found the Phantom to be so inconsistent looking, like this. So for me, like, it's just the quality of the story that keeps it alive. And look, like another goofy looking Phantom. So yeah, it's just excuse me, that is the thing. Now is the challenge. The challenge is a very interesting story. It is about about successor of the Banda tribe, and how the leader of the tribe is always chosen. So it's a very unique story, and it's done by Tony DePaul and Paul Ryan again. So I'm glad again. Paul Ryan's art and Paul Ryan's basically got me back into reading the Phantom, because after Cy Barry, his was the most consistent artist I have seen when portraying all characters, and I've always been a fan of his work since his Marvel years. So yeah, and the challenge is a great story that way. It's a little different. It's a little laid back story. It doesn't have that kind of action. It's more about the Bandar. So it's more character development for the supporting characters, for the Phantom mythos. And the challenge basically also has like a lot of really great insight into the culture of the Bandars, and more importantly, it's a very nice way to take a break. Like usually everything of Phantom is like very Phantom centric, of some crime and something being solved, but here we have a story which is just develops on all the supporting casts. So yeah, so there we have it, issues 16, 17 and 18. I hope Regal will again get back on track with the cover zone, because I know for a fact they have a lot of big plans coming up for the end of the year as well as the next year and all. And the thing is, they have just, their standard has been so high so consistently for so long that our expectations are huge, because these are actually great books, no doubt. Even with the cover, whatever I may say, it's these are great stuff. I mean, the cover doesn't look that bad also, but however, they can do better, and they have shown that they can do better, and that's what we expect of them. And so yeah, well, guys, go out, support them. You get again, all of these books are about, each book is about $200, and have two stories, high quality paper, high quality print, fidelity, all of it. So yeah, that's it. Happy phantoming.